I just want to bring our guest for this evening, Ramaji. I'm just waiting for her to join. Hi, good evening.
Hello, Akila. Good evening.
You?
I'm good. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Firstly, thank you so much, Ramaji, and welcome to this edition of Lockdown with the Hindu Weekend. Thank you so much for taking time off to do this on International Dance Day. Just as I was sort of gearing up for this chat, I read this really beautiful quote that I thought would set the context for our discussion. It's by an unknown author, and it says, "If you hit a wall, climb over it, crawl under it, or dance on top of it." So we couldn't have thought of a more appropriate person to have with us today as the world celebrates International Dance Day. And you as a dancer, really for you who the world is dance and dance is the world, literally. So thank you so much for being with us. I know a lot of us here know you already and probably don't need an introduction, but for those who are not familiar with dance and the world of Bharatanatyam, just a little introduction on you, the dancer. So Rama Vaidyanathan, needless to say, is one of the foremost Bharatanatyam dancers of her generation. She imbibed the basics and the nuances of dance from her gurus, the legendary dancer Srimati Yamini Krishnamurti and Srimati Saroja Vaidyanathan thereafter. She's a dancer, choreographer, teacher, mentor, and the director of Ganesh Natyalaya in Delhi, a dance school that she runs. She travels extensively across the world, teaching dance to both Indian and international students. I have watched her dance personally, and I've found her dance both, energizing and soulful almost at the same time. Also, as a dancer, she's really rooted in the principles of the classical dance, but also her dance is really inventive, fresh, and innovative. So, thank you so much, Ramaji. I'm going to firstly start off by, asking you, what does the International Dance Day really mean to you?
I think, Akila, International Dance Day today is the day we all need to think about the transformative power of dance. And, I wrote a little poem on this transformative quality that dance has a few years ago, and I actually used it for a dance production of mine. And it goes like this. It says, dance transforms my pulse to pace with rhythm, and it becomes one with rhythm. Dance transforms the space around me, and I become one with the space. Dance transforms my body from still to motion, and I become one with the movement. Dance transforms my soul from singular to plural, and I become one with the universe. As dancers, we surrender our mind, body, and souls to the universe. With every cell of our body, and it's as though every nook and corner of our soul is laid bare, and the depths of our mind become absolutely transparent. And when we surrender to the universe, we actually feel the universe, experience the universe within us. This fantastic connection that the dancer feels with the universe, this unifying factor, is so beautiful and so special to an artist. And I think we as dancers are very blessed to experience that even little bit, even a minuscule proportion of it. And so today on World Dance Day, I think the transformative quality of dance is what I think we need to ruminate upon. So this is my main thought today about how dancers become manifestations of the universe. We actually wear the universe on us. It's actually, we wear the universe on us when we dance.
Right. But it's a bit ironical that, we're all locked down and dancers are celebrating Dance Day within the confines of their homes. What is your take on that? I mean, how do you think dancers should be celebrating dance within the confines of...
I think this is the day, especially today, when we cannot be out performing, because on a regular world dance day, I don't think we'll have so many dancers logging into our Instagram live interview, because they would all be busy performing or attending conferences and seminars on dance. So today is the day I think we as dancers must come together as a community and feel the camaraderie between us. And because I've always felt that the way forward is together. And I think, so today is the day, even if you want to fight for your rights, even if you want to say something about something that is not happening well in the world of dance, we need to be together. So today is the day when dancers should reach out to each other and feel that sense of community, that oneness. And you know, Akila, this sense of oneness was instilled to me on the day I got married when I was 19 years old.
Oh, wow. 19,
yeah.
Wow.
Yes, because I fell in love with an Iyer Brahmin boy. And I am this Nair girl from Kerala. And my mother-in-law, the renowned guru, and she's also my guru, Padma Bhushan Awardee Guru Saroja Vaidyanathan, she readily, accepted me as her daughter-in-law. And you have to remember that this is 32 years ago. Yeah.
Absolutely.
32 years ago, there are a lot of orthodox and traditional people who did go up to her and say, why are you getting your son married to a Nair girl? She's not even of your caste. So my mother-in-law turned around and said, who said she's not of my caste? She's a dancer, I'm a dancer. We are of the same caste. So that was such a fantastic, profound statement that my mother-in-law made. And that was the statement that she made when she welcomed me into the family. I think that sense of oneness we dancers need to have, transcending over age, over how successful you are and how successful you are not are, which programs you have got and which programs you haven't got, who's getting covered in the Hindu and who's not getting covered in the Hindu, who's a dancer from America, who's a dancer from India, who's an Indian dancer, who's a non-Indian dancer. I think we need to transcend over all these barriers and come together as one community, especially these days when there's so much of polarization happening, Akhila, and there is so much of contempt brewing up between communities. I think dance has to unify us. Dance has to unify dancers amongst us. So I think today on this special day, especially when we cannot go out and dance, today is the day to feel that camaraderie. Today is the day to feel that sense of community and oneness. And I think the way forward is together. I mean, I strongly believe in that.
Yeah, and just to kind of talk to you about, it was such a progressive statement your mother-in-law made 32 years ago. And talking about orthodoxy, that still exists. People are still making regressive statements, but we won't get into that anyway. So I was just going to ask you before we sort of, it would be unfair if we have a dancer of your caliber and not have you do anything, little demonstration. Suppose we were to give you like an impromptu thing and say, if you were to demonstrate this situation that we're all trapped in, this lockdown situation in Abhinaya. And for those who don't know, Abhinaya is the art of expressions. Correct me if I'm wrong, ma'am. If you were to depict this in Abhinaya, how would you do it? We're curious to see that.
Okay, so, I'm greatly inspired by a Kashmiri Sufi saint poetess of the 14th century. Her name is Laldet. The Muslims called her Laldet and the Hindus called her Laleshwari. And she made some profound vaks that we call in Kashmiri. And she said, one of her vaks, one of her sermons was, withdraw your gaze from without and concentrate from within. So the word without, within. Withdraw your gaze from without and concentrate from within. And that is exactly what we are forced to do now, whether we like it or not. Yes, but actually this has to liberate us. This should not make us feel trapped. So, the thoughts that we had around us and which were uncontrollable, which were going haywire, which just just wouldn't stop, and that lifestyle that was happening, and we were like going all over the place. This is the time to bring it all into one point and withdraw your gaze from without, concentrate from within. So I think this quality, I think not just dancers, I think all of us have actually done in some way or the other. And the other point that I want to make here is this is also the time to use the medium of dance to address what is going on around us. You know? And what comes to my mind is this very beautiful poem written by Narsi Mehta, the Gujarati saint poet. And it's a poem that every Indian knows. Vaishnava janato tene kahiye je peed parai jane re. That man is to be revered, is to be respected, not because of his birth, but because he empathizes and is sensitive towards the suffering of another human being. And that is exactly what our health workers are doing now. You know, they are not worried about their own well-being, and they're going all out there taking care of the patients. Par dukhe kare tore man abhiman na aaye re. Even if you are in a position to help those poor people, those sad people, those people who are in agony, never ever feel arrogant about it. Because sakale lokma sahune bande. We are all strung together in one common thread. Ninda na karete nire. Do not be contemptuous towards each other. So I'll just take 2 minutes to do that.
Lovely. Looking forward. Okay.
वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए जे पीड़ पराई जाने रे पर दुखे उपकार करे तोरे पर दुखे उपकार करे तोरे मन अभिमान ना आई रे वैष्णव जन तो तेने कहिए जे पीड़ पराई जाने रे सकल लोक मां सगुणे बंधी सकल लोक मां सगुणे बंधी निंदा न करे तेनी रे वैष्णव जन तो. This was my small, humble ode to the health workers.
Lovely. I had no idea that you were such a great singer as well.
Oh, no, Akila. I'm a horrible singer.
No, it worked fine for So, anyway, how has life been treating you? What have you been doing? Both, just hanging out with family and also as a dancer. How has life been like the last 3.5 weeks?
Actually, Akila, I have been enjoying the lockdown, and the day actually flies. Every day just flies for me because I have taken this time to do a lot of things that I've been wanting to do. Seriously, you won't believe it, for the past 25 years, but I've not got time to do it.
I can totally imagine.
Like improving my reading and writing skills of Tamil, because I grew up in Delhi. And Tamil was not a language. Though I speak Tamil fluently, I could read and write, barely. But I want to be proficient to be able to read Tirumandira, to be able to read the Silapadikaram one day. So I wanted to actually hone my skills in reading and writing. And my mother-in-law is helping me a lot on this. And this is the time I'm also taking to choreograph new dance compositions, spending a lot of time with my family, cooking also, because I would have been a chef if I wasn't a dancer. So I'm having a lot of fun cooking, and reading. I've been wanting to read so many books, and I finally managed to read whatever I wanted to read.
Well, but the world outside, the online world, has gone berserk with dance, right? I mean, every platform has been buzzing with dance. I just wanted to get some sense of what you think about this. What are your thoughts on this?
I think what is happening is absolutely fantastic because it is keeping up the momentum of the dancers and keeping up their inspiration. Because, inspiration is, I've always said it, inspiration is a very, very key factor for dancers. Because you have to understand, Akila, a doctor goes through medical school knowing that the end of his 5 years or 7 years or whatever, he is going to become a doctor, and he's going to earn a living. Same with a lawyer, same with a chartered accountant, same with an engineer, right? A
Yeah,
dancer learns dance for 15 years, not even knowing whether she will even become a dancer after 15 years. She doesn't even
make
know
it.
that. And even if she does become a dancer, in the sense she chooses dance as a profession, she doesn't even know whether she can earn a sufficient, decent living with it. So what keeps
Correct.
the dancer going? It is inspiration. It is that mad passion for dance. And I think during this lockdown, these online performances, live performances, and recorded performances have kept the dancers on their toes because they have been thinking about what to do. They have been practicing, they've been talking to each other, they've been collaborating. And I think they've kept that adrenaline on, that inspiration has been on. I think that's vital. That's very, very, very important. Yeah. So I think
Yeah.
dance
So,
going online is beautiful. And I think this is also
yeah.
paving the way ahead. Necessity is the mother of invention. So this is invention.
So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions that I noticed. One from the editor of the Hindu Weekend, Rizala Stephen here. These online festivals that have been happening and stuff, there is going to be a sort of a shift in the way we're going to be producing and consuming the arts. Do you think that that's going to happen, Ramaji? What's your take on that?
Okay. First of all, I want to say that uh, the magic of live performance can never ever be substituted, definitely. And I think that is going to happen. That has its own place. But I think online performances are also going to happen. So we are going to have parallel performances, maybe not as much as we've been having during the lockdown. But I think the electronic media, social media is definitely here to stay for artists to showcase their art, especially for youngsters who don't get an opportunity immediately. They have to struggle for opportunities. So I think it is definitely going to stay. Not as much as the lockdowns, definitely, but the real performance, the real theater experience is definitely going to remain. Yes.
Right. I'm going to ask you, you have not, during this lockdown, you have not sort of performed online anywhere. Was that sort of a conscious decision, and really what prompted that decision? Or did it happen sort of organically?
Um, Initially, it happened organically, and then finally I took the decision because I feel that I'm too much in bliss working
Yeah.
towards something without a deadline, without a
Mm.
deadline, without an agenda. So this bliss that I'm experiencing of working on my dance without a performance looming over me, and so because for the past 25 years I have been literally living from a suitcase. It was from one performance to the other, from one tour to the other, from one rehearsal to the other. This is how it has been. So I just want to hold on to this bliss. It's too precious. I'm not dancing. I am dancing, but I don't want to make it into a performance I'm really enjoying, and I'm really fascinated by the live performances
Right.
that are happening. That is absolutely. This is just my choice. I'm just enjoying the bliss too much, too much.
Right. Right. Ramaji, I see so many of your students, online. I just want to ask you, what is this joy of working with young people, and why do you believe, especially on internet, about how important is it for you as a dancer and a teacher to really, and kind of really
um, Very, very optimistic about the youngsters, about young dancers who are working so hard. They're so intelligent, they're so perceptive, and they just know how to work with their strengths. I think that's a fantastic quality that the younger generation. These dancers, these young dancers, they get attracted to the versatility of Bharatanatyam. Bharatanatyam is versatile and hence is able to today. Not that we have to do today, not that we have to do dance contemporary topics. No. What I'm trying to say is that Bharatanatyam is a language that these young dancers are learning. And then they're using this language to make their own mark, to make their own identity. Because I think it is important to do that, to make your own identity with a language that you learn, but keeping the core principles of the dance form. So I think the language that you learn should not restrict you but liberate you. Many people have asked me, Bharatanatyam is traditional, it's got too many rules and you must be feeling bound by it. Actually, Bharatanatyam liberates me. It does not restrict me. It's like saying, I know how to speak English very well. Does it restrict me to say anything? I know the language well and I can say anything. I can write anything. So it's a language that these youngsters are learning, that we all learn. And I think it is this quality that has got the youngsters. And that is why they have taken it up so beautifully, and they have allowed themselves to get moved by dance. Do you know, many years ago, this organization called SPICMAKE, Society for Promotion of Indian Culture Amongst Youth. And it is an organization headed by Dr. Kiran Seth, and they have done yeoman's service in bringing dance into the minds of school children and college children. This little boy comes up to me and he said, this little cute little Sikh boy, he comes up to me and says, I really liked your dance, ma'am. I am seeing Bharatanatyam for the first time. That boy, that little 8-year-old boy, has become a huge connoisseur of dance. He's like a 30-year-old boy now. And I think he's also converted his wife to a dance lover. I go to any performance in Delhi and I see that tall Manmeet Singh, that huge, lovely, handsome Sardarji boy. And I say, and I think to myself, oh my God, look at this. Look at how youngsters have allowed themselves. You have to allow yourself. It doesn't happen by itself. You have to surrender yourself to be moved by dance. And that is exactly what youngsters are doing now. I am so optimistic about their work and how they go around working with Bharatanatyam and all other dance forms.
Right. So Ramaji, we have this question about, have you been, have you pursued any interesting collaborations during this lockdown period, or have you been watching any interesting collaborations that have been happening online? Could you make a comment or two about that?
I have been watching some interesting performances online. The National Center for Performing Arts, the NCPA, has been having fantastic online performances. not just of music and dance of Indian genre, but also Western classical music and dance, and fantastic array. What a treat NCPA has been presenting, yeah. And I've been watching your organization, Akila. Alap has been doing such a fantastic job, so inclusive, and you have presented a wide range of artists, senior artists, renowned artists, young dancers, and you have performed and you've given them such fantastic themes to work on. Again, you've set their adrenaline alive, you've set them to be inspired, and I think that's important. So I've really been enjoying watching the Alap Insta Live performances. Sonal Mansingh ji, Sonal Mansingh ji has been going live very, very often, speaking about Indian culture, Indian cultural heritage and dance and Indian values. And that has been so beautiful and so revealing. And what a revelation it has been. And she's been presenting it in such an interesting manner. And I think it is very, very good for young dancers as well to listen to her. So that has been something fantastic that I've been listening. But, recently, this dance video has gone viral by this Ministry of Memories, where they presented doctors all over India have danced. Oh my God, that is so sweet.
Yeah.
And I think today on International World Dance Day, I was watching it and a big smile came on my face. All of them in that doctor gear, in those doctor suits with oxygen cylinders and hospital beds and as a backdrop, and they've all been dancing. I find that so cute, and that video's gone viral. Yeah.
Just about a little bit about videos to raise our spirits, and the arts is a great coping mechanism. It helps you kind of overcome anxiety, fear, all of that. Anything you've been following with Indian dancers that have been trying to create interesting forums for discussions where helping people with mental health, well-being? It is a difficult time. We're all trapped in. Do you feel like there's something interesting happening that you have been noticing, ma'am, in particular?
I think Jonathan Hollander with the Battery Dance Company, he has been having some interesting discussions on matters concerning dance and matters concerning the well-being of dancers and dance. And that has been very interesting. And, but I have to tell you, Akila, dancers by nature are very positive. There is no space to get depressed, by the way.
That's true.
So they by nature are very happy souls. I would like to believe that. And so this lockdown has not been a problem on those lines, I feel. And yes, there has been loss of money, loss of opportunities, loss of profits. Yes, all that has happened. I completely agree. But we are not alone in this. We are just not alone in this. It's not that COVID has only targeted the dancers. No, it's targeted the whole universe. So I think in that sense, we feel that we are also, if everybody's suffering, we are also suffering, and whatever best we can do to raise funds, to dance and to pick up the spirits of other people. I think that's what dancers have been doing. The Rasikas have been watching and feeling happy and feeling positive, and their spirits have been raised by dancers.
Right. Just before I open this forum out for questions, we have about 10 minutes before Insta will just cut us off. I just want you to, if there's like 3 important things that you'd like to, say on this dance day, or 3 important things that you think dancers must follow, that is important, remain a dancer, remain rooted in dance. What would they be? Can you think of something
I think,
off the top of your head?
Yeah. First is go back to your basics. Go back to your basics. Go back to your stances, your atavus, do the netra bedas, shiro bedas. Just go back to your bases, revisit your basics. Try to create something new. It can be something small. It can be for a minute. It can be for 2 minutes. Try to create something small and read on dance. Read on dance. Read uh, dance writings, books on dance, biographies of dancers, dance, read archival material. Hindu has fantastic archival material about reviews and articles written on dance by scholars and dancers. And I think this is, it would be appropriate for me to say that Hindu has been the only newspaper that has allocated so much of space for dance, uh, with with so much of, they've been sustained about it continuously, especially when space for dance has been shrinking from all over in other publications, whether it's print or electronic or social media or whatever. It is Hindu that has been sustained. And I grew up literally, especially on Friday mornings, reaching out for the Friday supplement, to look at the reviews. Dancers can go to these archives of Hindu and read it, especially, and also during the Margari season, in Chennai, Hindu comes up with this supplement to cover the performances, and so exhaustive, and it is so wonderful to read so much about dance. And so I want, today on International World Dance Day, I want to thank Hindu for allocating so much space for dance. And I think during this lockdown, dancers should actually take time off to read archival material on dance. So these are the three things I would like to say. During one of these performances in Delhi, in a school in Delhi,
I just thought we'd open the forum for about 8 minutes for some questions that anybody may have. Somebody says, what's your favorite thing to do at home?
Am I currently reading? I'm reading this book called Two Saints by Arun Shourie, which is on Ramakrishna Paramahansa. He's an exhaustive account of the lives of Ramana Maharishi and Ramakrishna Paramahansa. And both saints who greatly influenced my mother, Madhavi Gopalakrishnan. She actually initiated me into dance, and she inspired me to dance. So I feel very good reading a book on these two saints that had, and they had a profound effect on my mother. Shorda, you say can't hear Akka. Now Akka is Rama Akka or Akila Akka? What is your message for the present generation dancers? My message is definitely to be patient, to go back to your basics during this lockdown, especially. And as I said, try to be creative. Try to let the creative juices flow and read up on dance. Any other questions? Can you hear, Akila? Can you hear me? Okay, they can hear me. Okay. Oh, will you be doing another online workshop? Yes, Pallavi. Navatman has invited me to do regular online workshops, so you will definitely get to know about it later. Educative videos. Somebody asked me, what is the best thing that you've learned from Tirumular's Tirumandiram? I think how the saint has drawn parallels between the breath and Lord Nataraja's cosmic dance. He said, every time I breathe, I dance. Every time I dance, I become a manifestation of Lord Nataraja. And when I become a manifestation of Lord Nataraja, I become a manifestation of the cosmic dance of the universe. Not just Nataraja, but the whole universe. I think this is a very, very beautiful statement made by this Tamil saint poet. Please share some of your best memories with your gurus. Okay, I already told you my best memory with my guru / mother-in-law, my dear mother-in-law, Saroja Vaidyanathan, who welcomed me with such warm words and supported me and made me the dancer that I am. And along with her, how I got tremendous support from my husband Kamesh and my lovely daughters, and both who dance, Dakshina dances, and Sanidhi plays the mridangam. My husband Kamesh, who's the only man in the house, and we've all surrounded by dancers. So in our house, it's World Dance Day every day. Every day it's World Dance Day. And memory with my the other guru, my first guru, Yamini Amma. She when she looked at me, she said, "I'm going to teach you well. I'm going to teach you well," she said, "and maybe you will learn well. But I think we need to do both. I need to teach you well, and you need to learn well." So that was a lovely opening statement that she made. So I have these fantastic memories of my gurus.